Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here at my next Avatar slash Korra news update video. Pretty big piece of news to talk about in addition to some other smaller bits, but I'm going to get straight into them because I actually have a lot to say about this. Um, First up, we have the description for The Rift Part 3. That was just revealed a few days ago, kind of out of nowhere like a lot of this news is, but we did from Amazon.com get this update here. And description for part 3, final part of the rift reads: Team Avatar is in peril as a dangerous, powerful ancient spirit awakens with vengeance and destruction on its mind. Bonds will be tested, and new truths will be revealed, as Aang must answer an important question. Can humans and spirits coexist? So yeah, straight away you can tell that, okay, this is the final part. They're not really giving too much away in terms of what's actually happening in part 3, and that makes complete sense. Like that's been the way for the last two comics. They haven't said a massive amount about plot in the part 3 description, and this is, definitely hyping things up. It's going to be exciting. Dangerous peril. The powerful spirit's going to awaken, and then the big things here: bonds will be tested and truth will be revealed. And obviously, the key thing is like what characters are going to be involved in this. Are friendships going to be at risk? And what characters are going to get reveals and stuff like that. But the big thing here is Aang has to deal with the important question of, can humans and spirits coexist? This is interesting because this is what Korra dealt with towards the end of book 2. This is what Korra's going to deal with in book 3 with her decision to leave the portals open to basically run this experiment. Can they nowadays exist, spirits and humans? And Aang is apparently going to deal with that in some way, and it'll definitely be interesting if, I suppose, Aang, if he knew about the portals, it comes up in relation to this. Probably not, but just the question probably comes up, and that the number of times he's encountered spirits, it's always been a big issue. Humans not going against spirits or whatever. And he's probably going to ask himself that question: why can't everyone just get on with spirits? But yep, that's the Rift Part 3. Book is going to be not out for a while. It's going to be a good while off yet. Obviously, the Rift Part 1 is going to be re-released on July 2nd. The Rift Part 2 is going to come out on July 16th in comic book stores and July 29th elsewhere. And then we're going to have a November 5th release date for the Rift Part 3 and a November 18th release date for the Rift Part 3 in comic book stores. So, good way off this book. But speaking of books being a long way off, the big piece of news that I want to talk about for this video is that we got the reveal of product announcement for Art of the Animated Series, The Legend of Korra Book 3 Change. Completely out of nowhere. I was shocked when I saw this posted on the site. I think Troy posted it up there, he found it online on Amazon. And I was like, I can't believe this. Troy has to be joking here. But no, click the link and sure enough, there it was. Cover 2, the Book 3 art book, and some pretty interesting cover. I'll show you that straight away. Here's the cover. Very interesting. Definitely that art book style. You can tell the Fred Stewart kind of background stuff. Joaquin, I think, is involved in these. Brian is involved in the covers here. Really good art for these covers, and this one especially because not only do you have Korra with an air nomad glider in her hands, which definitely interesting if that plays a role at some point in book 3, that she actually gets her own glider. That'd be really cool, because apparently she will be a master airbender. Why wouldn't she get a glider, considering there's not a massive amount of airbenders left, and it would be a great way just thing for her to have to get around easier as well. So that'd be really cool. In the background we see the Northern Air Temple. Very interesting because apparently this book is going to travel around a lot. As far as we know, we're going to the Earth Kingdom. We're probably going to the Fire Nation now. We're going up north to the Northern Air Temple, and Who knows? Maybe we'll get to see the Northern Water Tribe as well, but who knows? Either way, this is just exciting in that it reveals a little bit about Book 3, considering we haven't had a massive amount of Book 3 news of late. This product announcement revealing some stuff about Book 3 is very interesting. But release date for the book is also pretty interesting. Amazon had the release date up as January 20th, 2015, which is well over like 9 months away from now. So that's how early this book is actually being announced on Amazon, which I'll talk about in a minute. But that's a Tuesday, January 20th next year. That means that the book is coming out in comic book stores on January 7th next year, so earlier. But either way, the big thing here is that they've announced this book super far in advance. I don't think we've ever had a comic announcement this far in advance. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but this is really unique because obviously the book 2 Spirits art book was only revealed. I think we started getting the like Barnes and Nobles like product listings about a month ago. So for them to reveal the part 3 book now is really unique. The book 3 one, big change here, and it's hard to tell for sure if this means that good things are going to happen from now on in terms of core merchandise, but this apparently shows is a good thing. We got the part 3 description very early. Now we're getting the reveal of the book 3 art book early. That for me shows that Nick, Dark Horse, someone involved in putting out stuff for Korra, has made this decision that they're going to kind of get on top of things straight away, that they don't want book 3 to go the same way that book 1 and 2 went, where the first product announcements came after the book ended, and not just like a little bit afterwards, months after the book ended. Like, remember, we only got the announcement of the book 2 DVD about 4 months after the book actually finished airing. So for this to happen, we got the art book, which was announced very late, as I said, after book 2, for it to be announced early. We have no idea really when book 3 is coming out. It has to be soon, just because of this release date. It's a very good sign, and I think you pretty much have to say book 3 is going to be finished airing by January 7th. I think that's a fair comment to make. That said, I don't think anyone actually believed that the book book 3 change was actually going to air long into 2015. I think at the latest people are expecting it to have a September premiere date again, and obviously end by around November. So that's the expectations, and hopefully, it happens a little bit earlier, because of the whole, it won't be as long as wait for book 3 as it was for book 2. But as I said, this is a pretty nice kind of just thing to happen, that we're getting book 3 stuff announced earlier, and especially with the Legend of Korra and Avatar: The Last Airbender merchandise line launching basically next week. Some of the mugs and stuff like that are going to come out in comic book stores. This is a good kind of time for Avatar merchandise. Hasn't in any way been the best kind of thing for Avatar, its merchandise lines. The books have been very successful, but I will say that the books, comics, art books have sold very well from Dark Horse. But other merchandise has been a big problem, and apparently it looks like things are changing, and I'm probably giving Nickelodeon a lot more credit than they deserve for this, because it probably is mainly Dark Horse here, but at the very least this shows that Mike and Brian are kind of, getting ahead of things, that book 3 isn't even out yet, but they're apparently already working on the book 2 art book, because on Tumblr just a few hours ago, I believe, he actually posted a new piece of art. I don't think it's fully complete. You can see it here. And his post that he went with this is very short. It's just said, piece of art I'm working on for a new thingy upcoming. So I assume that this piece of art may be going into the book 3 change art book, or possibly like a final page for the book 2 art book. Either way, he's working on those books at this time. Hopefully this means that book 3 will be announced soon, like we'll get a release date, we'll get a trailer. It has to happen soon because we've been waiting ages for news, and apparently if they're willing to announce this right now, book 3 has to be more or less done. I think that has to be the case, but that's been the news. I'll just end by saying this. Free Comic Book Day this year is taking place on Saturday, May 3rd. There is going to be an Avatar free comic available. Make sure if you get to your comic book store early, to make sure that you get a copy of the Sokka and Suki free comic book. Before doing that, check to make sure that your local comic book store is actually participating in the event. Not all comic book stores are. You can check if your local store is participating on freecomicbookday.com, and you can search for your local store that's participating. I will be reviewing the book probably on Saturday if I can get a hold of it, but at the very least I'll be going off scans on Sunday, and hopefully I'll be able to get scans up on the site day of pretty much for everyone. So thanks for watching, and bye.